Hello there everyone. I just woke up to 300 subscribers and I must say thank you all so much for helping me reach this. It was a close race. It was a close race as well. It's the 31st, the last day before 2020 remastered. But I'm just grateful. Thank you, and I will make a video on this sometime in the week after New Year's. So, get ready for that. Yeah, ready for that. I've been holding on to an idea for a long time for this moment, so just get ready for that. Thank you all so much again, and I hope that you enjoy the Fighter Pass 2 video. I recorded this last night thinking, oh, there's no way I'll get like to 300, so this is the last chance before the end of the year, and well, we did. So I'm gonna cut out those parts. But just know that if it kind of sounds like there's an awkward transition or whatever from the beginning and the end, because I say in the beginning and in the end, then you know. Okay, thank you again, and enjoy the video.
Here comes a new challenger!
Fighter Pass 2 predictions post Sephiroth or however you like to pronounce it. Me, I like saying Sephiroth. Even though it's wrong, I don't care. That's all I've ever heard it as is Sephiroth. Anyways, let's get into it. So, Sephiroth is our newest Smash fighter. He's the third DLC fighter for this, well, second Fighters Pass. That's cool. I never really expected Sephiroth, though, of course, in my previous predictions video, I said that I think Gino would be the character, though that ended up not being the case, but I did say that we would get another Square character, and I was right there. So I guess I'll take half a W. I didn't expect it to be Sephiroth, and, well, with Sephiroth, I'm sure it breaks a lot of fan rules that people had in their minds. For me, fan rules are kind of pointless to have because it only limits you of the potential of characters we could possibly get. The only fan rule I think that actually kind of makes sense to me is, well, if you're a Spirit or a Mii costume, at least post Fighter Pass 2, because if you're a Mii costume or a Spirit now, then they obviously had no plans for you currently. You know what I mean? But with that all being said, I've talked about my predictions a lot, so we're going to be talking about my wish list first, and then we'll get into my predictions. And really, my wish list will be, well, short. It's just Isaac from Golden Sun, Dr. Eggman, and Ryu Hayabusa. I've already made a video on Dr. Eggman, which was uploaded yesterday, so if you want to see that, well, there you go. However, when it comes to Ryu Hayabusa, I've already talked about him in my predictions because I genuinely believe that he will be one of our DLC characters. And as for Isaac, well, this is a wish list. It's characters that I want, even if I know or think they don't have any sliver of a chance of making it in. It's just who I would want. And I want to save a video just for Isaac all to his own. Just know that even though I know he's an assist, I'm not saying he's going to be in. It's just someone who I would want, alright? But that, again, that doesn't mean I believe he's going to show up. So now let's get on to the predictions. Now, with the previous videos, I've said that I would just stick to the characters that I think could make it in, and just add on reason as to why I think they could be in, but I've already made 2 videos on the characters I think that are going to be in, so instead what I'm going to be doing is I decided I'm going to just branch out and talk about different characters for these videos coming up. Basically, well, for every next fighter reveal, I will just talk about characters that are currently being talked about in speculation and some characters that I think would be interesting to bring up. So with that all being said, let's get started. First, my predictions. I still believe that Crash, Chief, and Ryu could be our final 3 characters. But again, I could be 1,000,000% wrong. And if I am, that's perfectly fine. Me, outside of Ryu Hayabusa, I don't really care for the other 2. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have some attachment to them, but not too much that I'd be upset that they didn't make it in, nor would I be too excited if they did make it in. You know what I mean? One of the main reasons why I even brought up this idea was to have this Sony Microsoft thing. But then again, you know, with Nintendo and Sega, of course, you know, console wars. But then again, it doesn't have to be Crash. It could be Kratos, for instance. And hey, since a lot of people still want to say that the characters have to be from a Nintendo console, let me put it to you like this. In my personal opinion, if Sakurai wants to call Smash a, well, celebration of gaming, then I feel personally he should have no problems including characters that aren't tied with Nintendo or haven't had a game on a Nintendo platform. But that's just me. I feel if the character is iconic enough and should be put in the same game with other great characters, then they should be in, regardless of whether or not they've been on a Nintendo console. And hey, if we want to use that argument, well, guess what? By all technicalities, Chief and Kratos are in Fortnite, and you can purchase them on the Switch version, so technically, they have been on a Nintendo console. So, you can't be mad at that now, can you? Okay, well, enough about using Fortnite, though it is kind of funny how it's managed to bring together Microsoft and Sony before Nintendo had that chance. I just find that hilarious. But anyways, so with that all being said, I want to talk about at least 3 characters per video that I won't mention in any other video. So for this video, we're going to be talking about SMT, we're going to talk about a fighting game rep, a particular one that's already represented in Smash, and I guess you could think which one. And for the last one, I just want to talk about a character that a lot of people feel has been deconfirmed, even though I don't really think that at all. You know what I mean? But we'll get into it. So let's start with Shin Megami Tensei. Of course, well, Joker's in Smash, but Joker really represents the Persona side of Shin Megami Tensei, even though Persona itself is just a spin-off to the series. And even still, it's kind of weird that Jack Frost, one of the mascot of SMT and in turn Atlas, doesn't make an appearance in Smash in any way, shape, or form. I think it's pretty weird, don't you agree? And well, Nintendo is publishing SMT 5, and SMT has been closely associated to Nintendo, whereas Persona has closely been associated with Sony. So I think that if Nintendo wants to, they could have a Shin Megami Tensei rep. As to which one, I think they'd probably go with the more popular ones. The ones I hear usually are Demi-Fiend or someone named Finn or Flynn, something like that. Either way, those are the characters I usually hear about when it comes to SMT, and I'd believe it too. Then again, SMT could end up being just, well, spirits. But I do feel that we will see Jack Frost in Smash in some way, shape, or form. It's kind of weird not to have him, don't you agree? But hey, they're probably saving that for 5's release. Anyways, the next character we're going to be talking about is a fighting game rep from Street Fighter. Yes, I know, we have Ryu and Ken, but I do think that there is potential for us to get one more. And because we're talking about Street Fighter, let's lay out 5 characters I think would be another Street Fighter rep if Sakurai would to have to do another one, basically. You know, what would the next Street Fighter rep be? And to me, the top 5 characters would be Chun-Li, Akuma, and Bison, the one that I think might happen, Alex, and as a joke, but could also happen, there is a realistic chance of this happening, Dan Hibiki. I know, kinda stupid, but it could happen. And let me explain why I think that we could get a Street Fighter rep, theoretically. Street Fighter is one of the most, if not the most influential fighting game franchises of all time. And if you think about it, 2 of its games are influential, Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 3, specifically Third Strike. If not for Evo Moment 37, I highly doubt you'd see competitive fighting games in the same way they are currently. I mean, there's been books written about it. Street Fighter 3 is just one of the most influential fighting games of all time. And so for me, I feel that 2 characters would represent that best. Chun-Li, as she was a part of that moment alongside with Ken, or Alex, he was the main protagonist of Third Strike. Though I guess some people would think that Chun-Li has a better shot, as she did first appear in Street Fighter 2, and, well, she is the first female fighting game character, which I guess, you know, some people use it as a point for her, but in my opinion, I just think that she's just on the same level as Ryu and Ken in terms of popularity, so it just sort of makes sense to have her, you know what I mean? As for Akuma, well, I think he could show up because, well, it's Akuma, and he's the secret boss that everyone loves and hates, but loves. M. Bison is another character, of course. M. Bison has been the villain of Street Fighter for a majority of the games. Street Fighter 2, the Alpha series, and of course, Street Fighter, well, 5. Even though they say that G was supposed to be the main villain, and they kind of forgot about Nakali, huh? And if you want to consider it, he was also technically the main villain of 4. He was behind Seth and all that sin nonsense. So yeah, M. Bison would definitely be a really good choice. The last one is Dan. I think Dan could legitimately happen. I mean, as a joke, sure. And I don't think he'd be part of the Fighters Pass, definitely not. He'd probably just be like a separate character, you know, additional DLC like Piranha Plant. I just think it'd be really funny if, you know, we're thinking about the next hype character and we're getting another Street Fighter character. It's like, oh, who is it gonna be? Is it gonna be Alex, Chun-Li, Akuma, and Bison? Oh no, there's so many possibilities in my head. Like, who could it be? Who could it be? Who could it be? And then it's Dan Hibiki. That'd be hilarious as someone who loves Street Fighter. And for the last character we're gonna be talking about, it's Sora from, well, Kingdom Hearts. The reason why I'm bringing this up is that I personally don't care about Kingdom Hearts. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't. Alright, the plot confuses me. Darkness, darkness, light, darkness, dark, dark, light, dark, dark. Alright, Xehanorted, Norded, I'm not a fan, okay? Get your 358 days out of 2 out of here. Alright, but I've seen a lot of people say that because of Sephiroth, you know, Sora has no chance. And I want to put things into perspective a little bit. Sora is, well, a Disney-owned character, and anything Kingdom Hearts related that isn't the Final Fantasy stuff. And even then, I guess Square Enix doesn't really care about the Final Fantasy stuff anymore, huh? But with that all being said, Disney owns Kingdom Hearts. In my opinion, I don't think that Disney, or rather Square getting another character, affects Sora's chances because, well, they're owned by 2 different companies. It'd just be 2 different people Nintendo would have to go through. I could still see Sora show up, but me personally, I don't think he will happen. But again, you know, I just wanted to clarify, Sora is not owned by Square Enix, not one bit. Alright, everything that is Sora is Disney and Disney's alone. Just to clarify that. It is Disney's character. The only reason why you usually hear Square Enix is because Disney has respect for Nomura, and, well, because, you know, Kingdom Hearts is Nomura's baby, if Disney wants to do anything with Kingdom Hearts, they ask Nomura, usually out of respect. So with that all being said, I don't think Sora's chances are any less or any higher because Sephiroth is in. Just to clarify. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me. Really, like I said, my predictions are still Crash, Chief, or even Ryu Hayabusa, and I do believe in that last one more so than the other 2. I just think Ryu Hayabusa should be in, but of course, we'll get there when we get there. There was one other character I did want to talk about, being Bill Riser, but I'll be saving that for another video. Well, particularly my Everyone Is Not Here series, in which we will be talking about Contra, characters like Ryu Hayabusa and whatnot, because, well, me personally, I do love discussing Smash, and I like talking about characters that me personally I would like to see, but also talk about franchises that, even if I don't care about them too much, should be in Smash in some way, shape, or form. But hey, that's just me. Anyways, guys, take care of yourselves, be safe out there, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace!